All right, I'm going to call the meeting to order at 7 p.m. Welcome everyone to the Aaron Cutler Memorial Library Board of Trustee meetings of August 14th. We'll go around the table and introduce ourselves. I'm Donna Ferguson, Library Chair.
Jeff Larson, Trustee.
Jennifer Ford, Trustee and Secretary.
Laura Dion, Trustee.
And Vicki Barrick, Library Director.
We have Russ behind the camera.
I have a question.
Yep.
For members absent, do I include Erica on that?
You could.
And what about Adam?
Alan.
Alan.
Yeah, he's
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, great. Yeah, he's out. So everyone had a chance to review the agenda items. Did any? Yes.
Yes.
Anyone want to revise anything? Add anything?
I do.
Okay.
We're going to table bullet point 3, the presentation on graphic novels, until next month.
Okay. To September, we can do that. All right. So, so we did have one correspondence. It was, well, I don't know if it's correspondence, but from Erica Charbonneau. She has been on the board and was the treasurer, but she sent in a letter of resignation. I can read it. Read it, yeah? Yep. I regret that I must resign from my position as library trustee because of time conflicts with family obligations. I would love the opportunity to help with the Friends of the Library and will continue to support the library and its mission in any way that I can. Erica Charbonneau. So, I'd like to, I don't know if we need to discuss it really, no, probably not. I'd like to make a motion to accept the resignation of Library Trustee Treasurer Erica Charbonneau.
Second it.
Laura, second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Okay, so, next, we had asked, we kind of knew of this, so we had kind of approached Jeff about being the treasurer, and he said he would have really the treasurer vice chair position. Any discussion on that? No? So I'd like to make that motion to appoint Jeff Larson to the vacated treasurer vice chair position.
I'll second it.
Was that Jen?
Yep.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? And could he vote for himself, or, yeah, you can vote for yourself, of course.
Aye.
All right.
No.
All right, so, yeah. And then the bank updates, there's gonna be plenty of them. Oh, the bank updates, what is that?
Yeah, so Laura is the other signature on the accounts, so she'll need to go to the bank and have them add you, and then you will have to go in once they have whatever ready to sign that. So it took a long time to get Laura on, so hopefully it won't be that long for you since they did it recently.
And I had to do something similar at school, and it didn't take that long. So hopefully this will be quick. Maybe it was like somebody was on vacation or something. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
That could be,
Yeah.
yeah. And then you and I can get together and get everything handed over.
Does he need to wait until the bank signatures, or he can do that?
No, he just can't sign checks until that. But
Okay.
he could start getting data entered.
Great, that's good. Thank you.
Yep.
I know we're all very happy about that. So now Alan being an alternate, we can now move him to be a trustee. So do we need him here to do that so that he can accept that?
No.
No, okay.
No, he's already said that.
Okay,
he's willing
they
to
would do
it.
that.
Yeah.
So
And FYI, he's out because
did he have his hip replacement?
he did get his hip replacement last week. So.
Yeah, so
Yep.
he's gonna be moving a little slower for a while. So, I'd like to make a motion to recommend library alternate trustee Alan Sandler to the Board of Selectmen for the vacant position of library trustee.
A second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. No opposed, no abstained. Okay. Moving right along, minutes of June 13. Did everyone have a chance to look at them? Mm-hmm. Who wasn't here? Was everyone? Jen
I was
wasn't
not here.
Right, so the three of us, I thought they were fine.
Yep.
Jeff, you too? Did you, the minutes?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So, I'll make that motion to approve the public minutes of June 13th.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And I abstain from that, right?
Yep,
'Cause I
and
wasn't
one
here.
abstain.
Okay.
Yep.
Who
That's-
seconded that?
I did.
Thank you.
Is that 301 or 3? Yeah, okay, good. Correspondence, none. Well, we had the letter from Erica. No public comment? Russ? Okay. Treasurer's report. Vicky's gonna do that?
No. So, we did get our third quarter appropriation check, so that was deposited. All the, accounts payable manifests for the town appropriation account are listed here, and they're also in your Google Drive. We have our unverified bank reconciliation balances, which soon will get to be verified once we've got the treasurer in place again. So that's all there. So our year-to-date expenditures as of 5/8, no, 8/8, are 121,906, and so that's 38.1% of our budget spent. The fines and fees account that the Board of Trustees hold, we took in $1,762 in the from May's deposit, which we already had approved. Disbursements are listed there as well. I have not updated the special fund stuff, we'll have to catch up on that. And we currently have $13,864.47 as a balance in that account. Insurance settlement account, it's hardly worth the paper that this takes to include. There's hardly ever any disbursements, there's never a deposit except for, a few pennies in interest. So, it's at $896.47 after the last 4 cents that we made. I do have, I believe it's end of June, but June balances for the trust funds. So any trust funds that pertain to the library are held by the town trustees of trust funds. So they handle the investment and all that kind of stuff, and they send out quarterly reports. So our earned time accrual expendable trust fund has $8,212.92. The Aaron Cutler Library Memorial Fund has $1,965.
What is that for? I'm
Well,
sure I've asked this before, but.
I know, and some of these used to be grouped together, and then that wasn't the right thing to do, so then people split them out. So I think it's anything that's not maintenance, is my understanding.
Okay.
So then there's the Aaron Cutler Maintenance Fund, and that has $67,407. And that's where we do roof repairs and brick repointing and other things,
Heating
replace the HVAC, that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
And then there's these other 3 little ones, Sheila Bixby, John Kennard, and Robert Chase. So what does that total up to? Close to $800, $900. So, yeah, we probably need to get back in touch with.
What can they be used for?
So that's kind of one of those things where it's like, really,
Sure.
You know.
Okay.
supposedly anything. Like we could use it for books, we could put the money towards something else.
Okay.
But this is the income that they've made off of it.
Do we need to ask just the town trustees of the trust funds to use that money? We don't, right? We don't,
Right, yeah, so
we
like
wouldn't
when
have
we
to go
did
to
the-
whoever set those up?
No,
Okay.
no. So like when we did replace the HVAC, I just sent a letter to John
Right.
along with a quote.
Okay.
And told them
Okay.
that you
Well,
guys
that-
had
right.
approved, that expense, and then they write the check.
But that shouldn't be different for those last 3. It's all
No,
under the trust funds?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
It's all,
Interesting.
all like that.
Okay.
Any questions on the funds?
Nope.
Because then I have a detail of where we are line item by line item for expenditures.
Okay.
So the one that,
Pops right out is the Supplies.
Yes, the 95% expended,
Yeah.
which is, it's interesting. Although our expenditures were higher last year too, and he didn't start until the end of November, and staff had been doing it in the middle for a while.
Right.
So and he's just a cleaning machine.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
gotta tell you. I mean, everything is clean. Things that haven't been cleaned in years are
But
clean.
that's good.
You know, he likes to get the woodwork polished,
Yeah.
and that's good because
Yeah.
that makes it last longer.
Yeah, of course.
And this could be totally unrelated. I don't know, but I just realized the other day I have a dust allergy, and so my nose would constantly drip. You know, and I'd tell people, no, I don't have a cold. I'm not sick. It's just an allergy.
Sure.
I haven't had that
Oh, well, that's a good,
since
that's,
he's been
thank
here.
you,
so
Russ.
I'm
Thank
like,
you.
good job.
Yeah, no kidding,
Yeah,
no, that's
so-
wonderful.
But like I say, maybe it could be something else.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yes, that is the one that sticks out
Yeah.
of all of that.
Okay, nice job on that. So I'm gonna make a motion to, do we need to amend it because of the date, or, you know, or we just corrected that date
Yeah,
5/8?
just with the corrected date.
Okay, so we're gonna make a motion to accept the August 14th interim treasurer's report pending audit with the amended date of 8/5, that's what it was, or
8/8.
8/8. Anyone?
Second that.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And no opposed and no abstained. Okay. Donations. Okay.
So we had a couple more donations in June and July. We received $100 from the Litchfield Community Church Presbyterian to go toward the Bryson Lang program at the end of summer reading. And then $100 from Linda Jacobson. And then we had general donations of $1.27. That
Okay.
just comes from when people like pay a
Extra.
fine and just keep the change
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah, that makes, yeah. So I'll make that motion to accept the June and July 2023 donations of $201.27.
I'll second it.
Is that
Laura.
Laura? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Opposed, no abstained. Okay. Oh, the operating budget.
That's the operating budget. So I thought, since we, got two newbies and a 1 year in
A
gal,
newbie-ish.
a newbie-ish,
Yeah.
we could start with that second page about RSAs in the budget. So one thing that I want to point out is 202A4, the second one listed, maintenance. So it's a state RSA that any city or town having a public library shall annually raise and appropriate a sum of money sufficient to provide and maintain adequate public library service therein or to supplement funds otherwise provided. So, like in last year's budget meeting where there was the little threat to make our budget $1, that's not
Yeah.
legal.
Mm.
So if that happens again,
We have this right here to
Yeah.
say, well, let me tell you about that RSA.
it's not
Yeah,
legal.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
now how you define what is sufficient to maintain adequate service, I'm sure that's up for interpretation, but $1 would not.
Right,
Would
right.
not include that. So, 202A11 are your powers and duties. And, it's your job to adopt bylaws and rules and regulations for business, so that's policies. Prepare an annual budget to support and maintain the library. And to expend all monies raised and appropriated by the town by the town for us for library purposes. And sometimes, we get to the end of the year and for whatever reason we do have money left over, so we try and fill whatever needs that we have that we can with that money instead of returning it to the town because that's what it says we're supposed to do. there are times when the town will find themselves in a bit of a tight crunch or whatever. There's probably been twice and since I've been here where they will like suspend town from purchasing things so they figure out exactly where they are and will ask for departments to cut back. And when that happens, we always participate too. We don't have to, but we do because that's the right thing to do, of course. Let's see, what else does it say here? Talks about how all money received from fines, payments, fines and loss, damage books, all that kind of stuff, is used for general repairs, upgrading, purchase of books, etc., which is that fines and fees account that you guys hold. Expend income from all trust funds for library purposes for the support and maintenance of the public library in accordance with the conditions of each donation or bequest. So that's what we're talking about. This one's for maintenance, this one's not for maintenance, everything but maintenance. And then appoint a librarian who shall not be a trustee and all other employees of the library and determine their compensation and other terms of employment. So that is also something we've talked about a little bit too. So the town sets their personnel policies and their compensation scales, and generally we follow along with that. But if there's a situation where something doesn't make sense to follow what they're doing, it doesn't really fit us, then that's certainly within your purview to decide to go another way. So, just good to kind of remember what everyone's powers and duties are. So, I provided you with a budget summary, but all the good stuff is in the budget details, so we may as well look over there. Let's see. Back to the top here. So it starts out with everybody's wages, and we are on, where am I at here? Yes, so people are entitled to merit increases each year based on performance. And I had gone into this with it doesn't show until you get to line 130. That's where the pool of money is for merit increases. So I was looking at up to 4% because things have been pretty inflated. I know it's supposed to be maybe coming down, but it just seemed, I don't know, the right way to go. I did find out after I did all this that the town is going with up to 3%. So that's a decision that you guys will need to make if you want to go with the town.
I just, on this, I want to be careful because when we go to the budget meeting, you know where they always like to lead to, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I don't want to put us in in a position where that could happen again.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's my only thing.
And like I said, I didn't find out what they were doing until after
Right.
I did the work, so.
And are they going to say, well, should you be in line with the town?
Right.
You know what I mean? Why do you get more than this?
Right.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Historically, has it followed the town, or
Yes.
yeah, is that out of just kind of bending to their will, or more calculated reasons?
No, I think it's more to try and make town employees, we're not technically town employees, but we're, part of town, and we're part of their budget, on an even playing field. Because a lot of what they do, they try to base off of whatever contracts are in place. So some positions there are are unionized, and then there's the non-union. So this is non-union stuff, but they do try and keep that in line so that there's not, right, upset.
Okay.
So we can continue on and you can note that.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see here. So then we go down to health insurance opt-out and line 140. Well, actually, let me come back. No, that's fine. In line 140, and so if you are considered full-time and you don't take town insurance, you're entitled to a, I always have to try to remember how this is, 50% of the 80% that your employer would pay. So that's what that is. So there's two of us that fall under that. And those rates aren't updated generally until November. So that number will stay that way until the rates come in for 2024. Same for the next two lines, health insurance and dental insurance. Those rates, which is what the insurance opt-out is based on, won't be in until then. So what you're seeing here are the 2023 amounts. Telephone is zero increase. That has been that amount for a long time, so whoever came up with that contract did a really good job. So let's see, under software purchases and licenses, we have an increase of $451, and that is mainly due to the fact that we can't get a newsletter platform for free anymore that will work for as many people as we send out to. And then we've also added in a second Quicken license for the treasurer.
So you only had one that you would use?
Yeah, because the other one was still like your disk software.
Oh, gotcha.
That's really old, so now it's updated and it'll be an annual fee like mine is. Electricity looks like it's pretty well on track, so it doesn't look like we need to increase that at all. Heating oil is listed here under the 2023 rate. We get that per gallon price from the school district. They have buildings that use heating oil. I think we're the only town building that still has heating oil. So we get grouped in with them. It shows an increase already without the new rate because of the number of gallons that we're looking at. So it went up a little bit. Water looks like it's going to come down about $58, so yay. Equipment maintenance contracts. Let's see, where are we with that one? That one is going up a bit. So the first line for the building alarm monitoring, maintenance, and inspection, that is the interior security that we're going to be talking about later, doing that update. And if we do the update where they're going to add a few more motion sensors, then that's an extra $7 a month. So that is $84, I think, that raised that price. If we choose not to add the extra sensors, then that extra $7 will drop off. So the bigger one is the copier maintenance. When we got that copy machine, it was the first time we had one that printed color, so we had no idea how many copies we were going to use. And so we've kind of been paying per copy. It's not part of the contract. So now that we've have a little history with it, I am going to be contacting them to see if there's a better way for us that would make it a little bit cheaper. But it did go up quite a bit if you include all the color copies, which we've been trying to pay for from other accounts, kind of like, well, that was for summer reading, so we'll take it from there. But that's not really, that's crazy to try and do that forever. Figure out how many copies went to what thing. So we don't have that kind of accounting with that machine. So that's that one is. So other maintenance that we have done here, the fire system gets looked at every January to make sure that it's working. Somebody comes in and checks the fire extinguishers. Jolt comes in, checks does maintenance on the heating and cooling twice a year. And so we do have 2 furnaces and 2 air conditioners. Sometimes that gets lost in there, so 1 for each level. And then there's a state inspection for the lift and the lift maintenance. Drinking water supplies are even. Trash container has gone up, so we've got it based on the current contract. Sometimes if we give them a call and whine a little bit, they'll lower it. So we'll be doing that again soon. The new rate just came in. So dues and subscriptions. So Mary Hill Rock Co-op, that is a group of libraries in our area. This, well, Nashwood's included, but not Merrimack. That kind of, how far over does it go? Danville, I don't know. So there's, I don't know, 20 libraries in our co-op, something like that. And so those are the membership fees for that. And that group meets once a month. The New Hampshire Library Association, that's for staff. So myself, Adult Services, Children's Librarian, and Assistant all have memberships there. The New Hampshire Trustees Association, that's you people. So that's where you get your newsletter from. And they have the annual conference. Once in a while there's another one. That if you can attend, that's great. And then that's also where our book review professional journals come from. So Library Journal, School Library Journal, and Book List. That's where we go to find all the latest and greatest that we parse our little monies out to. The next line, 613, community programs. You can see that for the adult programming, the monthly stuff, there's a budget of $1,200. And then our book group has a little budget, as well as teen monthly programming. We do have one museum pass that comes out of there, and then the summer reading challenge and trunk or treat outreach. So the summer reading, that $375 increase you see there is all for summer reading. So prior it was $452 is what the town pays for all the fabulous things we do here in the summer. So really, I mean, I just saw, what was it? The whole thing without the tent was $2,200, I think, is what it costs to put it on. And so we do get a lot of nice donations, so that helps out a lot. I added the $375 to at least be able to have the printing of all the brochures and the logs and all those little goodies that everybody takes home, just so that, you know, we don't always get the same amount of donations every year. So at least to have that part covered in there as well would be nice.
So, a question. So I know there's adult monthly programming and teen monthly programming. How about in the children's room? Is there anything monthly? I mean, I don't see anything in here for...
No,
what is
she
that?
just has things once in a while, like the trunk or treat she does for outreach. There's the Christmas thing.
Right.
Once in a while there might be something other special. I mean, they all do the adult, the winter reading challenge too.
Okay.
So that's one of those things that when there's more staff hours being utilized in that room, then they'll be able to start looking at programming not necessarily monthly, it might be more often than that, but for the grade schoolers. Because right now, we're only serving up to age 5 throughout the year. Let's see. Postage is up just a little bit because rates have gone up again. You don't notice that though with those forever stamps. So.
I know, right?
I always have to go and check and like, oh, okay, it did go up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So true.
Library supplies, there's just a tiny little increase there, and that was just based on what the increase is for bank checks that we'll spend. So library supplies are everything that we use to get the books on the shelf. So the little shiny covers, and then the paperback books, the thicker covering, all the labeling, bags, audiobook cases, DVD cases, all that fun stuff. The brown wrap that we use on the cart
yeah.
downstairs for the holds that keeps a person's items together. And then any office supplies, that kind of stuff. Automation supplies, that's kind of an old number. I just leave it there. So originally it was for barcodes and library cards, so but I just leave it there, but we don't need to purchase that very often. Building maintenance and repair, that one looks like it has stayed even. Equipment maintenance and repair also is staying even. Custodial, as we talked, has a big increase, so it's about double what it has been. And so that's not just cleaning supplies, but it's also light bulbs, batteries, anything for in the way of like the little cups that are in the bathroom, all the Kleenex, paper plates, napkins, all that kind of stuff that gets used throughout the year. Grounds maintenance has been increased by $50, and that is to cover, let's see, where's that? Is that his? Yes, that was to cover the actual lawn maintenance that Dalmatian does for us. So they do all the mowing and trimming, that kind of stuff. And then you'll see there's $113 there. That's for weed, insect control, ice melt, and other little things. So we do that part ourselves. Books and media. We have a few little increases, well, and then one big one. So we're trying, I put it in here again to get money to pay for Hoopla, which is not being paid through appropriation at this point. And then there's been I can't remember now, what was the increase? About a $300, close to $400 increase for New Hampshire Downloadable Book Consortium. So that is something that I think there's 200 libraries that participate in that group, and so every year the group votes for how much of an increase to have. So they went middle of the road this year, and that's where it gets us. So every library is different for what they pay, and it's based on what your usage is. And we have fairly good usage, so that's good. Let's see here. And like all the digital things, Heritage Quest, Mango, they always go up a little bit each year. So that's planned for in there. Periodicals, I don't know how that ended up $1 more, but that's what it came out to when I plugged in all the rates. We've been losing titles every year. Some things either go out of business or they go online only. So those get dropped, and then others, the price may go up. So that's how we got that $1 in there, I guess, for the price going up. equipment purchases, we get about $150, as you can see, for miscellaneous unanticipated things. I do need a replacement computer this year, and it's actually my computer. I have the oldest one right now. And I stuck that number in there because I didn't have a real quote yet, and I had no idea. Well, I got the correct number today. So we basically have two choices. So the one that's recommended from our IT gentleman is $2,202, and the second is $1,745. So that includes their Dell Optiplex. It includes a 3-year warranty, and it includes Microsoft Office and Windows 11 Professional. And he told me that the one that he's recommending, it's just more robust, given, because he sees how I work. I have a lot of windows open, going back and forth between things, depending on what I'm working on, and sometimes that, at least lately, has been causing problems. Things start to drag, I have to reboot, that kind of thing.
Too bad you couldn't have the space to have 2 monitors, because then you wouldn't, you know what I mean? Because then that would be like such a game changer for you. You know, you would be like clicking it, yeah.
Back and forth, back and forth. But,
Yeah, if you had the space, that would be great.
Yeah. So we'll have to decide which.
Right.
Number
Right.
you want to put in there. I'm gonna put the bigger one in right now, so then we can just see how it affects everything. So let's see, that was.
The what is the information on the one that the $1,700 one? I mean, is it like?
Let's see, what's the difference here? The more expensive one has the 17 Intel processor. This other one has a 15.
Whatever that is.
They have the same RAM. The more expensive one has 512 gigabyte drive, where the less expensive has 256 gigabytes. Let's see, that's the same, that's the same. Everything else is the same. So it's the drive and the processor. Yep. And then I did put in a ladder that is almost $400, and here's why.
The windows, to clean the windows?
No, that too, but we don't have a ladder that we can change a light bulb or clean.
So how do you
these
change the light bulbs?
fixtures.
How do you change them?
So
Does Pat come over?
he brings the ladder, yes, and Russ used the ladder to do that. And like down in the foyer, those lights are really high,
Oh,
so
yeah.
that, you know, we just,
Yeah.
and we don't have a place to put that ladder that's so tall to keep it, for us to have one. So when we first got those lights, probably before we got these, because they've always been up high, we used to have a big ladder, but once the addition, the little hub went on, it couldn't fit through to get it around stuff, and so we stored it at the fire station, and then they lost it. But I don't know what happened to it, but it wasn't there anymore. Somebody borrowed it and didn't bring it back. But yeah, and there's that, and then we have to change the batteries in the, where's the one in here? Oh, maybe there isn't one in here, and that's why they want to put one in here, motion detector. It's over in that corner, but they go up in the tippy-tip
Right.
corner. So it's, you know, you need stuff.
So no, I get that, but it's this ladder. I mean, you
So-
said the last one couldn't fit in the shed.
This is one of those that.
Oh, yeah.
They're adjustable ladders, so it starts at 6 feet, and then it's got incremental
Yeah.
extension up to 10 feet, and it can be on uneven surface. You can make it, you know, go this way or this way, all the kind of things that we kind of run into when you've got stuff in the way of trying to get to things. So that's that, and I can send you a link to that too, so you can take a look at it. Should have done that already, but like, when we had the puff back and everything was trying to get cleaned, you know, we have all these beautiful little architectural elements that, you know, collect dust, because who can get up there?
Yeah, I know, I get what you're saying.
So obviously you're not gonna be up there doing it with your hand. We've got extenders, but not
Mm.
from a shorter ladder. So if you have a 10-foot ladder, then you
Yeah,
could
I get that.
get some of that stuff done. Let's see, nothing in furniture and fixtures. Mileage and tolls is down $7 based on a few things that were taken out, and then the adjustment to what the federal mileage rate is. And I know we're not spending what this is showing still since the pandemic. There's still library things that are not in person, or they're starting to be in person. So, you know, I hate to lose it as things are coming back online. Seminars, that's the Children's Librarian Conference, there's a Teen Librarian Conference, the Adult Services Conferences, and then the New Hampshire Library Conference too. So those are all in there, and they had there were a couple decreases there because Alexis hasn't been going to both of them each year. So, and same for Teen, which is y'all's. CLNH stands for Children's Librarians New Hampshire. And YA is Young Adult Library Service. Let's see, everything else is even. Yeah. So, with the additional money put in for the computer, that gives us an increase of 4.11%.
What's the total difference with the computer?
The dollar difference?
Yeah.
What I had in there, 800, so $1,400.
So the total right now it's 11,745.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, the total now is 13,147, and the total budget amount is 333,351.
I'm just concerned about the, well, I don't think you deserve a 4%, but I'm just concerned they're just gonna look at that and say, well, the town gets 3, why do you get 4?
Perfectly reasonable.
Yeah, and I having been at those meetings several years in a row, and just some of the things that they've said, I don't wanna put us in that position again.
Are you talking about Vicky's wage?
The wages.
We went back to the
wages.
top.
Yeah.
Okay, just
Yeah.
making sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the 4% on the bottom, so I was
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how anyone else feels about that, and do you wanna talk about it? Anyone else? I mean, we could leave it and see what they say, if that's what you wanna do.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it would be worth having like a backup number. You know.
What's
So,
the
like,
3% number?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like if you're not willing to do this, like what what about this? And you know, maybe even still have that a little over the 3. You know, meet in the middle, so to speak.
Have you been to one of those budget committee meetings?
I haven't, so I've heard.
We could do it that way if you'd like, I mean, sure, because you're gonna be there right
So-
sitting next to us.
Basically, what you're saying is you're going to go in, and if it's at 4%, they're probably just going to say it needs to stay at 3, and they're going to argue that to 3.
Yeah, and then it could get to the point where eventually they're just gonna say, we're gonna cut X amount of dollars out of your, or we'd like to, right? I don't think, can they cut X amount of dollars out of our budget?
Yes.
Yes, they can.
You can't
They-
specify.
Okay, so
They
if you want
can't
to, if you want
purchase.
to allocate funds here, then we're gonna take it away from here. Is that what?
Or they could say, we're gonna wanna cut a position, or they can do that. Not necessarily, selectmen can do it as well. They can, no, they can't, just the budget committee, you're
And
right.
the budget committee cannot cut a position, they
They
can't
can-
tell you how to spend the money.
They can cut a dollar amount. They say,
Cut a
we wanna
dollar.
cut your budget by X amount of dollars.
And they're-
So could you go into that meeting with the 4% with a reason why we feel, or it doesn't matter? Because now I'm speaking from emotion, like we feel, like, so that's why I'm asking.
You certainly can.
You certainly
But
can.
it probably
It is probably not
Okay.
gonna matter to
Yeah.
them what you feel.
I figured. Just thought I would just put it out there.
No, I know it's
They would like things to stay
Right.
I get it.
even.
right.
Right, and I agree with Donna, it's not like you guys aren't worth it, but I think like
Yeah.
what you're saying is like gonna see it in a meeting and be like, nope, and then just keep like,
Because they're gonna
It opens you
scrutinize
up
it.
then to everything else.
Right.
I
They're
see
gonna
what you're saying.
scrutinize this. They're gonna because
right,
it's our budget,
Yes.
Right.
not
So
their
the best
budget,
play
it's
would
our
be to
budget.
follow their recommendation at the 3%, and most likely you're not.
And they might not
pushing
even
any
like
buttons?
they might not even
Right.
like that 3%. But the fact that the town.
But then we could argue you're giving the
Exactly.
3%, so
Exactly.
it's deserved.
Exactly.
I see what you're saying. You're coming from a different point of view, I guess.
That's just how I feel about
And
it,
I
right?
think that 3% number has been pretty
Standard.
steady for the
Yeah.
last 5 years
Right.
or more.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, like I said, not that I don't think this staff is worth it because you guys work hard and you do, but I don't think that, I think that's just a big red flag. We're right there for them, you know?
Gotcha.
That's my personal feeling, so,
We're talking specifically about the wage.
the wage,
Percent increase,
Right.
not the overall.
correct,
Right.
just the wage,
Yeah, that's
instead of
what I
it being
was asking.
4%, having it be 3%.
Well, because that would bring that percent down a little bit also, I guess, right?
Right.
Right.
And what is the
Not much.
general thought been on what are like historically the last few years, what does the annual total budget increase look like?
It depends on department, because
Yeah.
they go through the budget department by department, and so it's not.
Is there a threshold where they'll kind of be like, okay, this makes sense. You're at 3%, you're at 4%. I mean, everything goes up.
Not necessarily.
And do we need to, just another question, do we need to worry about that tax cap again this year, or is that,
Well, that did get changed a little bit.
okay,
So it's a percent now. and
Okay, it's
not
percent,
dollar
okay,
amount,
okay.
So that helps.
so that does, yeah.
But I've not received any guidance, like we're trying to only do X.
yeah.
Okay.
Once in a while that happens, but not a lot.
Right.
And so if I'm reading this right, then so in 2022, the total budget, total spent was 303,177. Then it went up. The budget was increased to basically 17,000 for this year. Okay. And so that overall increase, that's significantly less this
Right.
year
Than
versus
last
the
year.
previous year. Okay.
What do you guys think?
Have
And
there
we have to
been-
make a decision today, right? Because you have to, because it's,
We have to
we have
present
to
it.
present this to
Yeah.
the selectmen's meeting on the 11th? Is that when we have
And
to
it, yes, and
Well,
it doesn't mean you can't
change it?
change it after that, but you have to have your number for the budget committee meeting. So the selectmen, we go as a courtesy, because they can't do anything with it.
Okay.
So we just go in and kind of just hit the highlights,
Right.
and they say thank you for sharing it with us, and
Right,
it gets forwarded on,
right.
so.
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess not having not having been at one of the budget meetings and like, I feel like Donna, I'm feeling strongly about this, not in a bad way, but like if you're seeing this and you're like, oh yeah, they're just gonna be like, "Mer," then
That's
I
my
would
feel-
defer to you because I don't know.
That's my feeling. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's my feeling. Yeah. So can I make that motion? Are we ready to? I want to make the motion to, for the merit increases to decrease it to a 3% increase instead of a 4% increase for the reasons that we stated. Keeping in line with the town, not raising any red flags. Anyone want to second that?
I will.
Jen?
Yes.
Okay. I know it's a tough decision.
I
isn't
know.
it?
I don't love it, but
really
I
is.
understand where I
It doesn't
understand the
mean-
purpose
well,
of
I
it.
feel-
It doesn't
Yeah.
mean that we don't support the staff,
Yeah.
because we do, but we just. So, all those in favor of the 3%, of the increase of being at 3% instead of 4? I'm gonna vote
I'll
yes.
say aye.
Okay, so that's 3, Jeff?
Am I able to abstain?
Yes.
Okay,
you are.
abstain, okay. Okay. All right. Just being cautious, that's all.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
totally understand.
Yeah,
I
and
would
once you
like to.
come to the one meeting, you'll probably,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so what does that get us to, and then do we vote on that bottom line then, right?
Well, I can't just
Do you do
pull
that?
that out.
Okay, no,
I'll
I
have
know,
to- I'll have to
so
figure it out, yep.
Do
So
we have
do-
to vote on the computer?
What?
Do we need to vote on the computer also?
the vote on the
Well,
computer.
you need to decide which one.
Oh,
Yeah,
decide which one.
Which computer to
Okay, thank you, Jen.
include.
Yeah.
Um,
My opinion on computers is I think you will need more space than less, and if you don't get it, then it's not going to last the 6 years. So the price difference to me, the one that's being recommended by IT is the one you should go with,
Yeah, that's
or
what-
you're probably going to run into issues.
Yeah, that's how
Mhm.
what I feel too.
I agree.
Like, let's, yeah.
I feel like 6 years that you use the computer that you
Mhm.
have, that's a long time, so it's like put the
Right.
money in and.
Yeah.
Right,
you-
especially
you
with the
know.
open and the close and the open and the close. I know, I get that. I wish you had space for us to get you another monitor, because that would be so much better for you.
And I'll also check with the town IT,
Okay,
because they may have a Dell account that we might be able to get a better price off of for
okay.
the same thing.
Yep.
So, I'll
Okay.
check into that.
so do we need to make a motion
No.
for this? Okay,
I mean.
okay, for the
Okay.
computer. No, I think that's,
Yeah.
so, and you'll just have this budget ready for us for when we go to the selectmen's meeting and, okay. Because we don't really need to vote on that until it's all said and done and we kind of, after everybody goes through it or something, or do we need to do
Well,
that?
I don't know if you're done looking at things here. You could vote on this,
As amended,
yes.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm fine with all of the other lines. How do everybody else feel?
Agreed.
Agreed.
Yep.
Agreed? Okay.
Okay.
So,
So yes, you could vote on the bottom line number of 33,351.
pending, yeah.
Pending, how would you say that? Less,
Wage revision.
Yes.
Merit increase revision.
Right.
Do you want to make that motion? Go ahead.
she's like, you've got some wording, you go for it.
Yeah. How am I writing this one?
It's a motion to, what is it, motion to pass?
To approve.
Motion to
Yeah.
approve the proposed 2024 proposed budget of $333,351 pending a merit increase review.
Is it a merit increase review? Is that what it is? Or, yes,
Probably reduction.
reduction.
Reduction review.
Well, you could say pending,
Revision.
merit increase revision,
Okay.
of 1%. Right? So that's what we're doing, taking 1% off.
Mhm.
Did you get all that, Jen? Do you
I
need us
think
to say it
so.
again?
I think I might have it.
Okay.
Don't you worry, Vicky will tell me if I did it.
it was a lot, so.
Yeah,
Like
I'll go
between
back
my
with some
scribbles
numbers
and
and
her
stuff.
scribbles,
Yeah,
we
it'll
put
be
it together.
good.
Okay, so I'll second that. All those in favor?
Alright,
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Okay. So it's, at this point, it's 333, 351,
Right,
pending the decrease in the,
right.
okay, great. Okay, other reports. Moving right along.
Hang on now.
Yep, I know, right?
Let me find. There we go. Okay. So, library director's report. There's not a lot here because all my time's been spent on, as it says here, summer reading
Yeah.
and, you know, helping get the CIP information to Jeff and getting the budget put together. But our summer reading challenge ended on July 29th. Let's see what I was going to read you too. With the Bryson Lang program. So we had 81 people that came to that, which I was very encouraged by.
juggler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of a comedic juggler, given that
He was great.
we had to change the date, which that usually,
Right.
you know, causes a decrease, but we still had a really nice turnout. So everyone was able to turn in their reading logs, their bingo cards, and their challenge bookmarks through last Friday. So they don't have the exact numbers yet, but they're all chomping at the bit, getting those ready. So I'll have that for you for September. But I did want to read. Oops, if I can find where I am. Wrong thing open. There we go. We got a very nice email from a patron, so I just thought I would share it with you. My grandchildren, Sam and Rosie, and I have been taking advantage of as many wonderful library summer events that we possibly can. The All Together Now reading project was absolute genius. Both kiddos love to read, but the incentives you offered were beyond amazing. After turning in their sheets and counting out the beads, they couldn't wait to share all of the neat prizes they had earned with their parents. Sam participated in the game night on Tuesday. He's passionate about video games, and having other kids to play along with him made his day practically perfect. Thursday night, Rosie and I attended the game night for all ages. Another patron participated with us, and both she and Mr. Ben were incredibly patient with the game requests my granddaughter made. We were fortunate to not only have a fun time, but we also got to know a very different, silly side of Mr. Ben. What fun we had. Thank you, thank you all of you for all your hard work to make the library a fun, safe place for everyone. So,
Nice.
Very
yeah,
nice.
Nice.
so
Yeah.
that was a nice little kudo to receive.
Yeah. The library was a busy place this summer. It was.
It was, yeah. Let's see. So, our shutdown week is August 21st through the 25th. So that's next week.
Next week.
Hence why I won't be here for the CIP meeting. We're doing our, what we normally would call our fall staff training day on Thursday, August 31st. So we'll be closed that day. So, we do have an owl and raptors program on Thursday, September 21st at 6:30. It's an organization called Tailwinds Raptor Education. So they're bringing 2 owls and a turkey vulture. Those beautiful birds. So our location is a little bit up in the air yet,
I was
but
gonna say inside or outside or.
yeah, well, they'll do both.
Okay.
But an evening at that late in September, it
It's
gets
dark.
Yeah.
early.
Yeah.
So the Litchfield Community Church Presbyterian is also donating $150
Oh,
towards
nice.
that program. So that's very nice. So Ben's talking with them about if we'd be able to hold the program there. Because I think we're going to get more than we can handle for
Right.
this space, especially
With
you
the
know,
animals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
animal programs always
Yeah.
bring in people. So we'll have to see if that works or if we have to find something else. Mother Goose story time, preschool story time, and stay and play begin again the week of September 19th. And all the, usual weekly stuff continues on. The knitting groups and the book groups, etc. Lego club and all that fun stuff. And I just had 2 dates on here for you to remember. So the one is the Board of Selectmen's meeting on September 11th for the budget presentation. Now that's the same night as our meeting, so I'm gonna request that we get put on first so that we can come here, but I'm also maybe gonna recommend that we don't start that meeting until 7:30. Is that a problem for anybody? Just to be on the safe side, because they always, allow public things first, people from the public, like if they're on the schedule to talk about something instead of making them wait, so you never know. You might be the very first thing after the minutes, or
Could we
It might
ask
be a little
if
bit.
we could go another night, since that's our meeting night as well?
it's, I mean, I can't remember.
Did we ever do that before?
We have done it before. What is the next?
Would be, or do they meet every week or every
No,
2
every
weeks?
other, yeah. Every 2 weeks. Yeah, it takes us out of our grouping of kind of
Okay.
similar budgets, but
Okay.
we could ask to do that. It's just,
Right.
you know,
As long as they could get us in there first and we're,
right,
we just presented the highlights
right.
and then we leave, that's fine. Is everybody okay with the 7:30 meeting? Yeah?
And if I find out they can't do that,
Then
then we'll,
Asked
Yeah.
to move the night,
Yeah.
okay. To have that meeting a different night.
yeah, so.
Okay.
So we'll say 7:30.
Don't they start meeting though every week though or no?
That's budget committee.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. Okay.
And then budget committee is on October 5th.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. So that's it for that report.
That's when the fun starts, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yes.
Don't you go on vacation?
Hey,
I know, you had weddings.
I am missing something. So.
Oh, are you?
Yep, that's okay.
I'm sorry.
Nope, that's okay. Nobody consulted me, so.
Yeah, I know.
So building and grounds committee, so I have pavilion updates. So, the work is set to begin on September 25th, so Novak will start what he needs to do to get the site ready, and then Kidwell is supposed to do the construction, in October. So, for the contract purposes, we have a complete no later than June 2nd of 2024, so that we're ready for summer reading. So I did give you the draft copy of the construction contract that was drafted by the town administrator and the town attorney. So they're adding those dates, and then, what was the other piece? How the money's to be paid out. So because he's not sure that they'll be able to finish before the weather gets too bad, it's 25% down, and then whatever's been completed by the end date for winter,
Mm-hmm.
that would be paid for, and then
Start up again when he
everything
starts.
else, yes,
Okay.
when it's done. So, yeah. So, once we have that, then I can let you know that. And I did find out from the town building inspector, Jeff Blackwell, that he did look at Brian's plan, and he was good with it. So,
Okay.
I think though, we're probably still gonna have to go to a planning board meeting just to let them know that.
Okay.
So we'll have to figure out what,
When
they meet a little more often, I think, so.
Okay. All right.
When we can get on their schedule. So, part of that contract is set up so that I act as the library representative and I sign the contract and I'm like your middleman kind of thing.
Well,
So,
you're here all the time too, so.
yes.
that
So
makes sense.
that's what this motion
Okay.
is here.
All right, so I'll make a motion to authorize Vicky Varick to sign the finalized contract for the construction of the pavilion and to serve as the library's representative during the construction as noted in the contract.
Second that.
Jeff? All those in favor?
I
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? So there you go, 4-0-0.
Okay. So, the interior security system, we had talked about before of paying for that out of the building maintenance trust fund.
Mm-hmm.
So, so that's $1,782, which was quoted in January, I wanna say. So whether or not it's the same, no, but we'll find out if we decide to move ahead. And then that includes that $7 additional monthly for the added motion.
So they would just bill us every month for $7, is that?
Well, we pay
Pay
once a year,
once a year,
but
okay.
it's, yeah.
So it's a 1782 plus 7 times 12, right? Or does that
84.
include?
It's another $84, not onto the 17, not onto this.
But they'll just
onto
bill
our
you.
contract
Right.
that we already have with them.
Okay, so the $84 to that
More
contract.
to that
Okay.
one, yeah.
Which is, you'd have to update, if we approve that, then you'd have to update the budget to include that $84.
No, it's already in there.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
if we don't wanna spend the extra $84, then we would need to take that out.
Okay. Okay.
So, so that's why in the motion little area there, I didn't fill something in because I didn't know if we wanted to say up to
Oh, I see
a
what you're
little
saying.
bit more than what it is in case it costs more now, or if you just wanna make it for this, and if it's not that price any longer, we'll just wait until the next meeting, to get the correct amount.
We could say up to an amount, but I don't know what that amount would be. I don't know how much that would increase by.
Yep, so you can just make it for the,
1782 pending, we could do like spend up to 1782,
that's just what you would do.
right?
Just put that number in.
And then if they give you something and it's a new price, then you'd have to come back and we'd have to
Yep.
vote on, but then we'd have that new quote, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
How do you guys feel about that?
I think it makes most sense.
Just using the 1782?
Yep.
Okay, you wanna make that motion?
I will attempt to make that motion as you just said it.
Well, it's written there
It's
for you,
written-
Jen.
It's not on this paper, but it's right in front of
Oh,
me. So
no.
that's why I was.
It's on
Do you want me to do
the
it? It'd
big
be
paper,
easier?
yeah.
Is it easier?
Yes, probably, because I can't read it.
All right, so I'm gonna make that motion to spend up to $1,782 to update the library's interior security system as quoted by ADT Protection One using library maintenance trust funds.
I'll second it.
Okay, all those in favor?
I.
Aye.
Aye, okay, 4-0-0, okay.
Okay. So the next item is the outdoor materials return box, which I also put in your little packet with a little picture and fun stuff. But so we have the 2 boxes. We've had them since pretty much this edition went on. One was for books, one was for audio video, but the bottoms have rusted out. So one of the boxes we can't use at all. We can't get it square enough to close for the lock to work. The other one with a little finagling, we're still able to make that happen. But for how long, I don't know. So in looking at what's available now, we could get a single new box that is part books, heavy stuff, and part audio video, lighter stuff. So it's the box with 2 different slots instead of 2 boxes for 2 different things. That unit is all stainless steel, and it fits on the concrete pad that's already there. I mean, we will be left with that piece of concrete that won't be used.
Okay.
So I don't know that if that's a problem or not, I'll find out, but, let's see, so,
I can't imagine that'd be a problem, that there'd be just a slab there.
right.
Yeah.
So the cost of that is $7,126.32, so that includes a discount that we get from Brodart. And, there may be some installation fees, the way the boxes are there, and I'm sure this is the same way, they bolt down into the concrete. So, Brian Novak, who's doing that work, he is the one that actually did the concrete pads and installed the old ones for us. So he might do it for nothing while he's here, or we may have to, pay him a bit, but it's not gonna be too much, and it comes fully assembled. Where the last ones came in pieces, so there was, it took longer to do, so. So I just think we should think about paying for that out of the building maintenance funds, building and ground maintenance funds, because, we did turn it in as CIP, but that doesn't mean anything. Like, all the town's needs go into the bucket, and then they prioritize what's what, and that's just to get it on a warrant article.
Right.
And then you have to wait and see if the
Right.
people are gonna vote for it. So, I think it's at least worth considering that, given that we do have $67,000 in there right now.
Yeah,
I feel like the box is something that we need.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I don't know what we would do if
Right.
we
Right.
didn't have it anymore.
Because you always, you had one for the DVDs and one for the books, so is it gonna be, the one gonna be big enough for both?
Yes.
Like, let's say when you close down for a week, right?
Yes.
So,
Yeah, I measured out, and it should be,
okay,
should be fine.
because people be dumping those books in there. And next thing you know, you come in and
And
be all
that's why
stuck.
we had gone to that bigger
Yeah,
unit
okay,
from
okay.
the little tiny one we had, but yes.
All right. Yeah, no, I think that we should do that, because it could go to a warrant article and be, you know what I mean? So, okay, I'm gonna make a motion to spend up to that dollar amount, the $7,126.32, to purchase the American Book Returns Dual Drop Materials Return Box from Bodart Library Supplies, plus any installation costs using the library maintenance trust funds. And you'll, of course, come back and let us know what
Yes.
those fees are.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make that motion. Anyone want to second it?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, moving right along. So now what happens as far as we submitted those two items to the CIP, so we just need to let them know that they're gonna
Yep,
be,
so when you go to that meeting,
Yep.
you can tell them we'll pull that off.
pull those off. Okay,
Yep.
perfect. All right.
And that gets us to Capital Improvement Plan Committee. Take it away, Jeff.
There you go, it's your turn.
It's me.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So, Donna, Vicky, and I, we all met to go through the capital improvement plans as we have them now. I attempted to meet with the town administrator, Kim Kleiner, or Mike Croto, just to discuss the form. We have just some questions on kind of just want to understand from their perspective what they want to see on those forms. The stars did not align. We weren't able to meet. Actually still have a line of communication open with Kim on that. So certainly at the upcoming meetings, there's still questions, then I'll make sure that we have some time to connect. But anyhow, unable to meet with them, given, we were submitting basically the drafts. I was able to get, how many? Is it seven? Seven items in by the July 17th deadline, and those were the exterior CCTV, the book return, irrigation system, replacing all the flooring in the library, mobile shelving retrofitting in the children's room, and ADA compliant circulation desk upstairs, remodel of the office / staff room, And finally, a new facility. There are copies available of that online in the trustee Google Documents file. And so I guess they are currently under review. I mean, any questions certainly can direct those my way. But I think right now it's, next steps are we're going to meet and, ask questions, get further clarification, make whatever revisions need to be made, and, get everything ready for, final submissions.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, no, you did a great job.
So, the next thing is Personnel Committee. So, as I mentioned, I think at our last meeting, I was gonna send out a salary survey to the same towns that the town used, as well as some of our surrounding, libraries. So I did email a survey out to 16 libraries, and I've heard back from 8 now. I need to follow up with the non-responders and see if I can get them to respond. And then Jeff and I are gonna need to get together and look things over and see if we got anything meaningful or not. But so that's still in process.
Okey doke. Where are we?
It says to business.
The new business.
Yep.
The 100th birthday of the library.
Yes, so it's either next year or the following year, depending on how you want to look at it.
What do you mean? It's
The
like
big plaque on the front of the building says 1924, which is when construction started. But the building didn't open until 1925.
Oh.
So, do you celebrate? I would think you celebrate the opening,
I would think you'd
not
do the
the
opening.
right? Don't you think?
Yeah, I don't know if we would celebrate the groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Kids come and dig holes.
Yeah, right.
I think it would be 2025, yeah. So we're gonna just table that for a little bit.
Yep. But we need to keep that in mind
Yeah,
because,
yeah.
we
Yeah.
may
It comes
gonna
sooner
need
than.
a little bit of a budget
Yes,
for
yeah.
whatever, start thinking about if there's
Did you have any ideas
Things
on
to
what
do.
you, no, not yet, but yeah.
not at this point.
Okay.
But
Well, and maybe by then the Friends of the Library might
Yep.
be, bigger and a little bit more involved, and we can get
jump
them
in.
involved. Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay, so that's good. We at least have the year nailed
Yeah.
down. So
We can, but next year, when you're putting that budget together,
right.
we would need to include some funds in there, right? Because you'd be doing the 2025, yeah, for sure.
Or it may be a warrant article
Yeah.
for the funds.
Oh,
for
right,
that.
right. Yep.
So, yes.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So, do we have any announcements?
So, nope. There's one more
Oh.
item here.
Oh, extending. Okay.
So, I think it was June. Yes, we decided we would extend free library cards to anybody who worked in town, more so than just the teachers that work in town. But we were approached by someone whose children go to St. Francis, who wondered if we would extend that same courtesy to children who go to school in town.
And don't live in town.
Right, and
Oh.
don't live in town. So that's a fairly common thing too. Like she was saying that, one child has some after-school activities, the other one doesn't, so it would be great to come here. They could still come here and look at
Sure.
stuff, but then to be able to take things home
Right.
as well. So,
Yeah. I mean, how many? I mean, I don't have an issue with, but how many? You don't know.
I mean, that's not like it's a huge
Yeah, yeah.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about that? Good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For it.
Okay.
for it.
We don't need to vote on that, do we?
Yeah.
No. Oh,
do.
okay.
Yeah, you do. I'm sorry, I didn't
That's
make
okay. I'm gonna make a motion to extend free library cards to anyone who attends school in Litchfield.
There we go.
I'll second it.
Okay, Laura. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Oh, 400. Good. Oh, funny. When I read that, I was like, at first I thought it had something to do with the 100th birthday, and you want to give everybody that goes to the school for library cards something you already give for them. So I was like, what is that all about? But, okay, so any announcements? Anything that we have? No? Okay. So the summary of decisions and directives. I know that Jeff and I are going to go to the CIP meeting next Monday at 6:30, and it's at the new fire station, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
I will go to the bank for the
Oh, that's good.
signature card. I will do that this week, 'cause next week I have to go back to work.
Okay.
And I know I said I was doing stuff, but now oh, I'm gonna update the budget.
Oh, yeah, update budget, yeah.
Based on
Oops.
tonight. I was going to check with John Brunel about a better computer price.
Oh, were you also gonna ask about the selectmen's meeting to see
Yes.
if we could
Yep.
be first and if, or not change to another night, right?
Yes.
Selectmen's meeting. Anything else you guys can think of? I think that was it, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
So, we are gonna go to non-public session, but don't look at that one.
Don't look at that one.
Where's my? Read this instead, because there's more to it.
Okey-doke.
Well, if I can get a hold of this. Per those reasons.
Oh, jeepers.
that's gonna be
So,
your
I'm making the motion to enter into non-public session at 8:22 per RSA 91A3. Is that 2A, RSA 91A3 2B, and RSA 91A3 2C, matters which, if discussed in public, would likely affect adversely the reputation of any person. So, I vote yes. Jeff?
Yes.
Yes.
That was Jen and Laura?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so that's 400 to go into non-public session.